Speaking of the West, let's talk about Poland. So we've been following the Poland story over the past few days, and I feel terribly for the people of Poland who have leaders there that can't make up their freaking mind. So Poland looks like it's on the verge of collapse, thanks to Russian sanctions. And it looks like Polish Prime Minister, help me out, Polish viewers, because this is not easy for me. I had Polish friends growing up, like, and I certainly grew up near Pittsburgh where I could go get delicious Polish food. But some of these names, I have a hard time with it. So help me out with the pronunciation of the Polish Prime Minister. You guys too. Mateusz Morawiecki? I don't know. I got it. I'm going to call him. Good. I'm going to call him.
Sounded Polish, perfect to me.
Polish Prime Minister. Polish Prime Minister Morawiecki. That's what I'm going to say. Could be, but you never know with a Polish name. Could be totally different, Anyway, Polish Prime Minister is about to do an about face and push for peace instead of.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Just as you are coming in, just sit tight and relax and just listen to the video.
Driving his country into the toilet. This could be happening. So good for you, Polish Prime Minister. But just for some context here is the Polish Prime Minister a few months ago, who was an ardent supporter of Russian sanctions, going so far, in fact, as to call out at the time former Chancellor Angela Merkel, saying, hey, Germany's been too silent on this. And
welcome, guys. Welcome, Black Lives Matter. Welcome, Agnieszka. Thank you for hopping up on the live stream. Please, you can write, where you are watching from so that we can know what's up. Welcome to the live stream.
Other European partners, you're too silent on Russia. We need to call them out. We need to put in very, very strict sanctions against Russia. And that turns out that didn't go very well, because we showed you a video yesterday here on the show of Polish people preparing for a freezing cold.
It's going to be a loaded package this night. I'm coming with lots of information for you. If you are on your way to Europe, I think this is the stop where you should be. This is the stop where you should be, because I'm going to be dishing out lots of information that is not just going to be helpful to you on your journey to Europe, but it's going to give you a head start before you come over to Europe.
With winter lining up, of course, and they're lining up for days in order to buy coal right now. They don't have enough, so they're going to freeze, and they're camping out for 2, 3, 4 days at a time because of Russian sanctions and these moronic.
Welcome, Idowu. I can see you from Abuja. Black Lives Matter from Kenya. Thank you so much for joining the live stream.
Leaders who are more concerned with, look at these guys like sleeping in their trucks, just waiting. So even like little hatchback cars, just to put a little bit of coal in their car that they can take home for this winter. And it's still hot. Look at the grass. It's still growing. This is still the summer. So they're preparing because they know what's coming. So again,
we are just warming up. We are letting people come in. So that we can start the live in few seconds. Just let people just settle in, feel comfortable. We have an amazing live video today. If you can see, you see that the setting has actually changed from the last time. If you watch the last live stream, the setting has actually changed. I have done lots of work, putting a lot of effort into making sure that whenever I come live, it is an amazing presentation. And this is all because of you. And thank you so much all for watching this video.
Here was Polish Prime Minister. I'm not going to pronounce his last name. I'm looking. I know someone's spelling it. Beta Amazon in our chat saying Matsu Morawiecki, but I'm not going to. Morawiecki. Okay, Marcos.
I can see Minu. Also, I can see Ali.
Says
Morawiecki.
Morawiecki. Did I get it right? Morawiecki. Here.
Ile razy negocjował pan z Putinem?
Co pan osiągnął? Czy powstrzymał pan którekolwiek z tych
This is going to be an amazing live stream, and I'm going to be expecting us to be, to be conversational, for you to also bring in your ideas here and there, where you think that, you have something to say based on what I have said. Just bring in your idea, and it's going to be something of a conversational stuff.
działań, które miały miejsce? Ze zbrodniarzami się nie debatuje, nie negocjuje. Zbrodniarzy trzeba zwalczać. Z Hitlerem nikt nie negocjował. Negocjowalibyście z Hitlerem? Negocjowalibyście ze Stalinem? Negocjowalibyście z Pol Potem? Panie kanclerzu Scholz, Olafie, to nie głosy niemieckich biznesów.
Okay, without wasting any further time, welcome to the live stream. Welcome everyone. You can see the content up there. Welcome Manu, I can see you. You can see the content of the today's live stream up there. And it's going to be a loaded package, just like I have promised you guys, because I have done a lot of work. I have put in a lot of effort into this to see that it is a wonderful show for you guys tonight. And I'm here to take all your questions, whichever one it is. I'm going to take it, just drop it in the live chat. Just give me the super chats, okay, the live chat, and I'm going to answer the question based on the knowledge I have, okay? So today we are going to be looking at 4 different things, 4 very important things, okay? We are going to be looking at the current cost of living in Poland. Now, you might say, how will it affect you? If you're already in Poland, you know that it's going to affect you. And then if you're also coming into Poland anytime soon, you know that it is going to also affect you when you come over to Poland, especially if you plan to come anytime soon. Yeah, we are looking at the current cost of living, and we are going to look at the problems and then the solutions, how you can manage it. We are going to look at the housing market crisis right now. The housing market crisis is in a mess. The housing market in its own, it's in a full mess. And so we're going to look at this problem and also how you can handle it, both when you come and then when, even for those who want to even maybe rent a house before they come over to Poland, like you want to get the house rented for your application process or whatever, this is going to be helpful to you. And then we are going to look at something very important, something that is not discussed and talked about. We are going to look at the imposter syndrome, and we are going to also look at the depression, yes, in Africans or in foreigners when you come over to Europe. This is a phenomenon that is actually plaguing lots of people. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about how to overcome it. We're going to look at that as a problem and also look at how to overcome that challenge. And then finally, we're going to look at how to make the best, of your arrival in Poland, how to make the best once you arrive in Poland, how to start immediately making an impact without having to waste lots of time. Because sometimes I could remember someone who came to Poland and it took him over 6 months, 8 months, some people, to really get themselves into the groove, So I can see Ali is right. You are writing a question. I didn't get any question from you, Ali. So you said just a quick questions, but I think I did not see any question from you. So when I see one, I'm going to talk about it. But for now, let's go straight into the cost of living in Poland without wasting any time, okay? There was a video I was playing at the beginning, and I am going to go back to play this video so that you can have a little understanding of what is really happening on the ground. Things are happening and they are not being actually shown in the media, both the Polish media and, just in the global media. Things are just being suppressed. and there are lots of spiral things that are happening based on you know on what is happening now, of course. So most of these things are being suppressed and they're not in the news. So that is why I want to play you this clip now. Most people have watched a little part of it. So the clip is about 6 minutes long. So just strap yourself tight and then let's watch this. Let's watch this clip together, okay?
Speaking of the West, let's talk about Poland. So we've been following the Poland story over the past few days, and I feel terribly for the people of Poland who have leaders there that can't make up their freaking mind. So Poland looks like it's on the verge of collapse, thanks to Russian sanctions, and it looks like Polish Prime Minister, help me out, Polish viewers, because this is not easy for me. I had Polish friends growing up, like, and I certainly grew up near Pittsburgh where I could go get delicious Polish food. But some of these names, I have a hard time with it. So help me out with the pronunciation of the Polish Prime Minister. You guys too. Mateusz Morawiecki? I don't know. I got it. I'm going to call him.
Good.
I'm going to call him
Sounded
Polish.
perfect to me.
Polish Prime Minister. Polish Prime Minister Morawiecki. That's what I'm going to say. Could be, but you never know with a Polish name. Could be totally different, Anyway, Polish Prime Minister is about to do an about face and push for peace instead of driving his country into the toilet. This could be happening. So good for you, Polish Prime Minister. But just for some context here is the Polish Prime Minister a few months ago, who was an ardent supporter of Russian sanctions, going so far, in fact, as to call out at the time former Chancellor Angela Merkel, saying, hey, Germany's been too silent on this, and other European partners, you're too silent on Russia. We need to call them out. We need to put in very, very strict sanctions against Russia. And that turns out that didn't go very well, because we showed you a video yesterday here on the show of Polish people preparing for a freezing cold, with winter lining up, of course, and they're lining up for days in order to buy coal right now. They don't have enough, so they're going to freeze, and they're camping out for 2, 3, 4 days at a time because of Russian sanctions and these moronic leaders who are more concerned with, look at these guys, like sleeping in their trucks, just waiting. So even like little hatchback cars, just to put a little bit of coal in their car that they can take home for this winter. And it's still hot. Look at the grass. It's still growing. This is still the summer. So they're preparing because they know what's coming. So again, here was Polish Prime Minister. I'm not going to pronounce his last name. I'm looking. I know.
Okay, so you can see that if you watched the early part of that video, you will see clearly, even towards the middle part of it also, where he was talking about people lining up in the looking for coal right now. People are lining up for coal in Poland. It has gone that bad, due to what is happening in Europe. Now, I keep saying it that it is only someone who has decided to be blind or who wants to live in a bubble that thinks that things are going to be the same and things are going to be as easy as it has always been. You understand? Like in the past, right now, things are not going to be the same. Things are changing, and based on the war that is happening in Europe, it is becoming more difficult for the Europeans themselves, not to talk of, Africans and we who are planning to come over. So I think the first thing to do is to have this in mind, that things are not as easy as they have always been. Okay, and then you are going to be ready for whatever is going to come from your arrival in Poland. Now, the fact is that, okay, I see a question from Black Lives Matter. I'm going to recommend for us best link or website. Actually, I can't actually say whether there's any best link or maybe best website, but you can contact me like maybe after the show. My You can contact me after the show. My IG handle will be put in the comment section, and then you will be able to contact me after the show so I can say something. Because when it comes to links and websites, of course, I'm not super. I can't say I know all of them. You understand? So to avoid referring you to someone who is going to do something with your money, and then I come back to have a problem. So I am actually not going to do that. So um on the other hand, we keep moving. No, like in the past, at least in the past, will I say, like in the past 1 year when I came over to Poland, what 100 zloty, which is around maybe 19 to 20 dollars, what it could buy as at that time, as at this time now, it can no longer buy it. It can no longer buy it. And it is a clear fact that there is inflation in the country. And this inflation right now is said to be at 15%. 15% inflation. It's not an easy stop. It is at 15%, and is affecting everyone. It's not just affecting one person or two people. It is affecting everybody. It is affecting the gas prices, the price of gas. The price of gas. And once the price of gas becomes high, every other thing becomes high. Once the price of gas becomes high, every other thing, no matter what you are talking about, every other thing becomes high. And this is the reality that is facing everybody in Europe right now. Like, this is the reality on ground. If you are not open to this reality, you know that life is more difficult now. I wonder. But we are not going to be focusing on the problems, okay? Because of course, you know that the outcome of inflation is always difficulty. It's always things getting tougher and harder. We are going to look at the solutions also. Okay, so we are going to look at the solutions to this problem and what you should be doing as someone who is actually on his journey right now, or on her journey. What you need to be doing and what you need to be taking note of. For me, I have 4 things I had actually outlined. So you can use any of these 4 things. It's just for me from my suggestions. Okay, number one, I would advise you that right now, taking into cognizance all that is happening in Europe, taking into cognizance the difficulty and everything. Remember, I am not against traveling. No. That is my standards. In fact, I'm still helping people right now to travel, and I'm still going to help as many people as possible to travel. Okay? Yes, but then, if I will advise you, if you are on your journey to travel right now, if you're on a journey to travel, please consider putting your travel plans on hold. Now, this is my first advice. This is not like the only advice. This is advice number 1. Consider putting your travel plans on hold. Now, if you're a Christian and you know the Bible, you will remember the sons of Issachar. They said what separated the sons of Issachar from the other sons of the children of Israel was that they were able to read the signs of the time. It's not that traveling is bad. No, traveling is not bad, but traveling blindly, not reading the signs of the time while traveling, is actually what is bad. You understand? So that is actually the first thing I can put forward. Whether if you really want to, get an advice from me, the first one will be to put your travel plans on hold right now and understand really what is going on. Or if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to put travel plans on hold, your second option you can take is to diversify diversify your options. Diversify your options. I can see Adam is saying it's not easy. I understand. Kings, welcome to the live also. You know, so diversify your options. There are so many people that are locked into traveling to just one country. They are locked into traveling. Their whole mind is, I want to travel to Poland. Their whole mind is, I want to travel to just Canada. Diversify your options. Diversify your choice of countries. Okay, it's not that you have to be applying to all of them at the same time, but you have to be open to switching once you notice that there is serious difficulty, or maybe that things have gotten very difficult there. That is number 2. Number 3, if you are a student, this is for you. Look for scholarships. I can tell you, even I had to stop making videos on scholarships because people were not responding to these videos very well. As a student, look for scholarships. Right now, my inbox, my emails, like, they are filled with scholarships, because I think that once you travel over to Europe, they start sending you these scholarships in your email box. I don't know how they get your email, whether from your school or whatever, and they just keep bombarding you with with all of these scholarships. So I have been trying to put 1 or 2 out there, and I'm going to keep putting more, because right now is September and it is the hotbed for scholarships. So I want people to start thinking about taking advantage of scholarships. Not just because that is another way. When you get a scholarship, things become easier for you. So just think about that also. And then finally, which is going to be the funniest of them all, go and invest your money in a business if you can. Now, this is quite serious, so that you do not end up wasting your money on travels. Okay, I have seen people who have wasted millions of naira just to travel over to Europe. And then at the end of the day, they did not still get these visas. It can be very painful. It can be heartbreaking. But then at the end of the day, you can ask yourself, if they had known, they would have most probably invested that money, somewhere. But of course, no one knows how life will always turn out. So that is why you have to take chances where you can see chances. You also have to take chances. So that is the 4th advice on that front. Of course, you are the one who is going to choose from any of this, which knowing full well that the cost of living here is getting difficult and it is affecting every other thing. So let's progress to the next thing, which is the housing crisis. Okay, let's say that somehow you find a way to, make it over, cross over these barriers and everything and the difficulties of the embassy and everything, and you finally make it over to Europe. Then you are going to be faced with another thing, which is the housing crisis. This housing crisis is also affect those who will be trying to sign contracts, from if you are in your country right now, you want to sign a contract, to help you at the embassy to process your documents. It can also affect you. Right now, to find a house, to look for a house in Poland is like, looking for pure water in hellfire. That is how we say it in Nigeria. You are looking for pure water in hellfire. That is what it looks like to look for a house. But of course, I say this, as I said, it's a problem. And I'm not just here to give you the problem, but I'm also here to give you the solution. So the solutions will also be given to you. You just have to be patient. We have to explain the problem. Without you knowing what is happening, you might not appreciate the solutions that is going to be given to you. So the housing market is on the high side right now. And not just that it is on the high side, it is very conservative. The housing market is both high and it is conservative in that it's as a foreigner, it's very difficult for you to get a house here in Poland. Right now, rents have skyrocketed almost 50%. 50%. I know people who their rent almost doubled within the past few weeks. Their rent was doubled by whoever is, their landlord right now. So rent was doubled, and but there are ways to get over these things, and these are the things I'm going to be talking about. And I'm going to talk about what you must know before you rent a house in Poland. What you must know if you have finally crossed through these boundaries, what you must know before you rent a house in Poland. This is a very important information. In fact, take it to the bank. You heard it here first. What you must know before you rent a house in Poland. These are very important information. Number one, you must ask the question, is the house new or old? Now, you might wonder, you might be asking like, why will you bother about if the house is new or old? Of course, it's just a place for you to lay your head. Yes, it's just a place for you to lay your head, but remember, you are going to pay the bills. Now, let me break it down for you how new houses and old houses work in Poland. If you are living in an old house in Poland, you are going to be paying more bills. If you want to rent a house and you mistakenly or whatever go and rent an old house in Poland, you are going to be paying more bills. Why is that so? Because houses in Poland, the old houses in Poland, were not built in such a way as to save energy, to save electricity. No, they were not built in that way. Now, I'm saying this because currently I am living in an old house, and I am really feeling the brunt of living in an old house. It is not easy. So ask always, is the house old or is it new? If it is a new house, then you know that you are going to save more on whatever on the bills and everything. You are going to save a lot of money on the bills if you are living in the new house. So this is what you must know first, so that you don't just go to a house, it's good, but then you have to pay bills. Then number two, I had shared this story in one of my videos before that I had made, and it is about the contracts that are being signed for foreigners right now. You can sign a contract that cedes all your positions to your landlord. Yes, that kind of contract is going on right now. I found about this when I was with an Algerian Uber driver, driving from the outskirts of Poland, right inside Poland. And we were talking, and he started telling me, how it is difficult in the housing market. And of course, we know that. Then he told me something about the fact that in your contract now, you can sign a contract that will cede all your possessions to your landlord if you miss just 1 month of rent. This can be very dead. Of course, like, no one wants to find himself in a financial mess or anything like that, but nobody knows you don't know what is going to happen with your jobs. You don't know, like, I don't think like there's full job security. You really don't know what is going to happen. So why will you sign a contract that is going to give all your properties to your landlord if you do not pay your rent just for 1 month? So you have to put that in mind. Is the house old or new? And then know the kind of contract that you are signing. Now, how can you overcome this crisis? Number one, I had told, when I mean the crisis, I mean the difficulty of getting a house in Poland. I had said something about this before in a previous video where I said it is very important to learn the Polish language. It is very important. There is nothing more important than learning the Polish language, like not learning it to a master's level, but at least the basics. The basic is always going to help you. I said this in that video, just learn it, or probably you have a friend who can speak Polish. It's going to always help you in the housing market crisis. It's going to help you to, mitigate lots of issues that you might have in the in the Polish market. And then number two, the second thing you must do, to help you out in the housing market and the prices, since everything is skyrocketing now, is to look for houses in pairs. Either you are 2 or you are 3 looking for a house together. Then you're going to be looking for an apartment. Because currently, if you come into Poland currently and you start looking for one room, like the amount of money you are going to pay. When I mean one room, I don't mean studio. I just mean one room. Someone showed me a one room a few days ago, and this one room was around I think 2,500 zloty. It was crazy. So always look for rooms in pairs. Look for someone who is also looking for a room. Look for someone who is also looking for a room, and then two of you can look for the room together. Please always drop your questions. I am seeing questions coming in. Kingsley Treasure is saying, it seems those traveling for work purposes, especially the blue-collar jobs, have advantages since most of the employers provide some basic needs like accommodation and transportation. Now, it depends on the contract you sign. This thing now that he just said now, it depends on the contract he signed. Yes, because of course it has to do with also the housing crisis. If you sign a good contract and then you are able to get accommodation as part of your contract, then of course it becomes easier for you. Accommodation and transportation, it becomes easier for you. But then if you are just like the many people who don't have too much money to make such higher budgets, and they just want a work permit contract, simple. They don't want nothing more. They just want the work permit. I don't think that, they are still going to face this same problem. You understand? So the key there is to know the contract you are signing. Make sure if you want your contract to cover your housing and accommodation or your transportation or whatever, your insurance, make sure that the agent you are using gives you that detail and you are sure that it is going to, play out like that. So just make sure of that. It's very, very important. Okay, that is it for the housing crisis. And I'm going to be moving into the next thing, which is something that is very touchy. We're going to be looking at dealing with imposter syndrome and depression. Now, people might ask, like, why am I even talking about dealing with imposter syndrome and, and depression as a... So why do you think I'm going to be, talking about it? Yes, it's very important because I see a lot here in Poland. I see lots of people, it is really, really difficult for them because they are really fighting with depression. But then I'm going to play us a video. I'm going to play us a video right now. This video I'm going to play you now. It's now actually this setup you are seeing here, I have not maximized it. So I'm still learning it. I have been working tirelessly on it, to help to give you guys like the most amazing presentation I can, So I'm still working on it. I cannot actually hear the videos, but I'm sure you can hear it because I have tested that out. So I'm going to play you guys a video now of a pastor. A very funny video. Now, the aim of playing this video is not just to, it's not just to play the video, but is to show you that it is so cold out here. And some people know it. Okay, so it's so cold out here, and the idea of depression and imposter syndrome is very common, and I will tell you why just after watching this video.
That is doing a little better. If you know what I know, you won't leave this country. That you are going to Germany, Canada, Europe. You can't dare it. There are people in Nigeria earning money in dollars. know what I know, you won't be looking for visa to run away, sir. You are only running away because you have eyes you can't see. You have ears you can't hear. You left God above, and you are looking for God abroad. No matter how hardworking you are, a nurse in Canada, you have a limit. If you stretch yourself, by the time you get to 50 and 55, it will show. Your body will tell on the stress. No matter how powerful you are, the only difference is that you will have light 24 hours. You will eat food. Can I ask you a question? Did you come to eat or you came to make impact? Decide. There is no nation I know, sir, where you pick money on the ground like Nigeria. Nowhere. Everywhere is money. What is Papa talking about? They have eyes they can't see. You can't see it. You can't see it. You can't see it. You can't see it. Too much money in this nation. You don't follow statistics. The industrial revolution in China shut Europe. Most fabrica, that's what they call it in Europe. Most factories in Europe, they are closing down. You know why? Whatever you are selling in Europe for 10 euro, China is doing it for 2. Now, people go more to China than Europe. As a result, Europe cannot produce because nobody is buying. Everybody is going to China. Now, you can't go to China because they have a law that does not include you. Chinese population is over 1 billion, so you have no place in China. So, when you hear your brother say, I have no job in Europe, it's true. All the factory, apart from Germany, that is doing a little better. Most of your brothers in Europe, they are begging, Babiala, in the street. That's what they are doing. They are doing charity. They are begging, beggars, begging to survive. And apart from that, they are illegal immigrants. Immigration is after them. If you have had interaction with anybody who left here for Europe, ask them after 2 years, they are regretting. That a man will leave 4 children, 5 children, say he's going abroad to look for greener pasture. Greener pasture is not a location. Greener pasture is in your mind. Greener pasture is not a location. Greener pasture is tied to when your eyes open to see. The richest 10 people in Nigeria, none live abroad. What does that tell you? The richest 20 men in Nigeria, go and check Forbes. It's on social media. Google it. None of them live abroad.
Okay, I don't know if we have gotten the message. You know, I did not actually play that video because you know, I want to discourage people from traveling abroad. No. It's not actually what I want to do, but I wanted to stress the fact that, you know, there are still people who still understand that in this place it can be a struggle. It can be a real battle. Okay? So why will you suffer from imposter syndrome? And then why will you suffer from depression, you know, on arriving to Europe? No, firstly, you are leaving your land, you are leaving your family, you are leaving everyone you love, you are leaving everyone you have real connection to. I mean, when I mean real connection, I mean emotional connection, spiritual connection, you know, mental, like everyone you have real connection to. And you are coming over to a place where you don't have anyone, where you have like a real connection, someone who can really understand you, someone who can really accommodate you. That is the kind of place you are coming to. There is no one here to really, no one cares about, like, in this place, this is like a jungle. No family. Maybe if you have like a family here, fine, of course, it's easier for you. But then, if you have none, number two, you cannot speak the language. Now, this is not just particular to the Polish or to Poland alone. This is general to every European country you find yourself in. Yes, it's just like that. If you watched Ahobi Worm's last video, those who follow Ahobi Worm online, if you watched her last video, you would see that Ahobi Worm said that in one of the section of her video, she was like, her week was messed up. Her week was not good. She was sad. She was angry. Why was this so? And she said that it was because she went for a class, and she was not the everything was done in Polish. She couldn't understand it. You feel like an outcast, like you feel like you don't belong here. The same thing, she tried to go and make her nails. She tried to go and make her nails, and then 2 times she couldn't. Always language barrier. You understand? So sometimes this language barrier can put you in a situation whereby you feel like you don't belong here. It might not last for so long, you understand? But then it is a real feeling. It is something real that would, that will come over you at one point in time, And then what else can contribute to this? When you do not have friends, when you do not have people who you can rely on as your support system, when you do not have friends, it can tell a lot. When you come over to Poland, it is very important. And we are going to join this section together with the making the best out of Europe. Yes. So I'm going to join this section with making the best out of Europe because we are almost out of time, So, because it is very important that you make the best out of Europe upon your arrival. And if you are stuck in the imposter syndrome and in the depressive mood, you will not eventually make the best out of yourself in Europe. So that's why we are going to link them together. So, how do you overcome the imposter syndrome? How do you overcome the feeling of you don't belong here, which is going to surely set upon you, no matter how strong you think you are? It is going to surely set. When you walk into the grocery store and you really want to buy things, and then you are just looking and you don't you are confused, you want something, people can't understand you, then you understand that the syndrome is real. So how can you overcome it? Number one, I have said it before, learning the language of whichever country you are coming to or whichever country you are in. There is no downside. In fact, I have not seen anybody who has said there is a downside to learning a second language. Even the science has it that if you learn a second language, that it opens a part of your brain. It makes you think well, it makes you function well, it makes you do things better. That is the power of learning a second language. There is no downside. If you really want to overcome the imposter syndrome, in fact, if you want to be one step ahead, whichever country you want to go and look for that country's language and know the basic phrases that you can use to start communications. The good mornings, the excuse me's, the, what is your name? Basically, I'm doing well in my Polish. I am learning my Polish. It's difficult. I think it's one of the most difficult languages. Whether it is ranked as number 3, or in some places it's 10, in some places it's 3. So it's a very difficult language to learn. But of course, I've been able to go around it to some extent. I can see someone and start a basic conversation. Dzień dobry. Jestem Rafaela, ty? Jak się masz? Gdzie mieszkasz? Skąd jesteś? Stuff like that. So it took some time, but then for it to become comfortable, even on your mouth, even when you see something like sheprasham, something that you think that is easy to say, but when you act to say it for the first time, then you know how difficult it is. So there is no downside at all to learning a language. That is the first thing that will help you. So start now. whichever country you want to go to, start now to learn the language. Is it Germany? Is it Sweden? Is it anywhere? Just start learning the language of that place immediately. And then number 2, set your priorities right. And when you arrive at this place, if you are not careful, you can be carried away by so many things. You can be carried away by so many things. You can be carried away by the fun of you being here. You can just lose focus very easily if you do not pay attention. I call this organize your life. When you have an organized life, you are going to have less time to focus on your problems, but you are going to have more time to focus on your life because your life is organized. So setting your priorities is going to help you overcome, the imposter syndrome and the depression. Setting your priorities right, very important. And then this is where making the best out of Poland comes in. This is where making the best out of Poland comes in. Please, I want people to put their questions, and in the comment sections. If you have any question, just put it there. This is where making the best of Poland comes in. Build your network. I cannot overstress this. Build your network. Like, there is no man is an island. No one succeeds by being alone. I said this in my last live stream last Sunday, but then I'm repeating it again. Build your network. Now, this is going to help you overcome the imposter syndrome. Because when you come here and you do not have friends, or you do not have a group of people that you can hang around with, that at least that understand you a little bit. When I mean understanding you, I mean like that speak your language, that that do certain things that you do. If you are not able to have these groups of people, it is going to affect you heavily. But then, before you go out there to choose friends, this is where making the best out of your stay in Poland comes in. How can you choose the right friends? Because the friends you choose can either make you or mar you in Europe. The kinds of friends you choose here can either make you or mar you. They can take away opportunities from you or give you opportunities. They can help you. Your friends can open a whole door for you. I keep saying it, that the job I have now were given to me by my friends. So many people, the jobs they are doing, they were referred to by friends. That is why building your network becomes important. So, how do you build this network? Let's look at it. We have looked at the problem. And I said we are looking at problems and solution. How? How do you build this network of friends that can enhance, that can help you make the best out of your stay in Europe? It's very important. I have principally five method. Of course, these are not just exclusive to me. You can always put your own suggestion in the comment section if you're in Europe, or maybe if you are planning to come, how you can do this. I have 5 main methods. Now, the first step, the first thing you must look out for in people before you choose them as your friends in Europe is that, number 1, they must have the zeal to succeed. Like, you must see it burning inside them that they want to succeed, that they are here for a purpose. There are people in Europe here who are so lackluster. Believe me, when you come here, you will see lots of people. They'll drag their feet, they do like stuffs like this. But of course, it is their own stuff. But for you, what did you come here to do? Of course, there are people who their parents are so rich that they don't care about working or something like that. But then if you are coming from a stock where you have to struggle, you don't have the luxury of wasting time. So the first thing you must look out for in those who you are going to call your friends is there must be people burning with the zeal to succeed, burning with the desire to, that have focus. You can see it in their eyes. So that is number one. Number two, you must have friends that are willing to help you out when you are confused. Yes, there are friends that you can have. They will only be there, when you have the stuffs going for you. But then, when you don't have it going for you, they disappear. Your friends must be willing to help you when you are confused. If you see people who are willing to give themselves, to you, to aid you when you are confused or when you are in any sort of confusions around, when you're just finding things new, these kind of people should be selected into, your scope of friends that you can keep. It's very important. Number three, people you do things in common with. These are the easiest way to make friends, like people you do things in common with, people who you work with, people who you play football with, people who so that is why you must try to go to common places. When you come over to Europe newly, try to go to common places. Try to go to places where, like the church, places where people play football, places where people do exercise. Try to make yourself available to, like, when you have Africans doing things, like Africans are doing this retreat, Africans are doing this other thing. Try to make yourself available. This is the only place where you can meet people and then you have things in common with them. You understand? So that you don't have people that are complete contrast to you as friends. And at the end of the day, they end up not benefiting you at all. Because remember, the aim, the goal is to succeed. The goal is to succeed. And success is not a one-man thing. Number four, they must be willing to spend fun time with you. Yes, like you must have a group of people that are willing to have fun times also. Now, I know that I said in the beginning, people with the zeal to succeed. But then all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Where do the imposter syndrome come from? One of the places that can bring imposter syndrome and also depression is stress from work. In Europe here, we can be so bothered about studies and working that you are very stressed. And believe me, if you can do your research very well, you find out that stress leads to so many kinds of sicknesses. Just stress on its own, leads to so much sicknesses. So the advice would be, make sure that you are with a group of people that are willing to hang out, to have fun from time to time. You guys are willing to just go out to chill, If you are the kind that go to clubs, like you guys are willing to go and chill in the club. Of course, it's very important. But you guys are willing to, to just go out there and play football. You guys are willing to sit together, tell stories, have fun time. It is very important. And then for the final one, which is the most important key for selecting your friends, they must be willing to correct you when you are wrong. Yes, like coming over to Europe first time, you are going to make lots of mistakes. You are going to make lots of mistakes. I made lots of mistakes. Now, wonderful thing is that I did have lots of people around me who were willing to correct me, who were willing to tell me, hey, you have made this mistake here. Oh yeah, go and correct it. Go and do this. So you must have friends who are willing to tell you when you've made a mistake at one point or the other. And also you must be someone who is kind of willing to, accept a correction. That is the only way, the friendship can work. When people correct you, you can be able to, accept these corrections. So these for me are like my 5 metrics for you to choose friends that would progress you and for you to make the best out of your stay in Europe. Number 1, your friends must have the zeal to succeed. If they do not have the zeal to succeed, you have to walk away. Number 2, they must be willing to help you when you are confused, whatever kinds of confusion you are in. They are willing to put themselves forward for you. Number 3, they do things in common with you. They always do things in common with you. Number 4, the willingness to have fun time, the willingness to spend fun time, And number 5, they must be willing to correct you when you are wrong. So like this is virtually like what you need. These are the kinds of people you need around you. And then together with a very organized life, like together with you knowing what you are here to do. That is the most important thing. Do not lose focus at any point in time of what you are here to do, because we are virtually rounding up the live stream in less than 5 minutes. Please feel free to drop your questions. Is if you have any, you can feel free to drop it. So in my last video, I talked about the last video I put up, I talked about legalization. For those who are coming in to study, please legalize your document at the Polish embassy. People are being sent home now. So I'm talking to you. People are being sent home. People are being forced to put their documents in the DHL and all the rest of them, and it is serious issue. Your document can get lost. A lot of things can happen to it, So this is basically the summary of today's live stream. It's been an extensive live stream, and I thank everyone who have actually watch this live stream. Like, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's so amazing to see people come out to watch this. So we talked about the cost of living, of course, in Poland, which is difficult right now. Please, if you are on your way to Poland, or you're on your way to Europe or anything like that, if you have made a budget before based on any video you have watched previously, this is the time to readjust your budget. This is the time to readjust your budget. Yes. Said you heard it from me. Go and readjust your budget. The cost of living is high. The inflation is unbearable. Okay? That's how I'm rounding up this video with you guys. This is to show you that I am not against people coming over or something like that. So like, it's not really been against, it's just like, these people who are using the victim mentality. No. There are lots of opportunities here. As I've always said, that no matter how bad things get in Europe, it's not going to be as bad as it is right now in certain countries. It is never going to be as bad as it is in certain countries. Why? Because Europe already has a lot of structures in place here. They have structures in place that is going to see to the fact that life don't get too unbearable. So it is always going to be a place that you can aspire to come. Okay, it's always a place that you can aspire to come, and let's hope that in the near future, the whole mess and the whole thing that is happening right now in Europe, that is slowing down the processes for people, is going to be checked. It's going to be put to a stop somehow. I don't know how it is going to be put to a stop, but whichever way, it's better that it is put to a stop, than it is not. So someone asked me about the website before. The initial questions that came in was about website. Yeah, so the fact I said once again, I cannot actually validate, like any website directly when it comes to work permits. Okay. Yes, I cannot say that I can vouch for any particular website. Maybe for schools, yes, of course, there are schools and their websites are there. But for work permit, it's more or less like a private ventures for different agents. Okay, so I have made a video before on my Facebook highlighting how to spot scams. Okay, I've made a video how to spot scams. Go back and watch that video on how to spot scams. It is going to help you so much. That video is going to help you. Go and watch it so that you know that if you see people with irregularities, in their profiles, you do not work with them, so that I don't have to regret. Traveling to Europe costs a lot of money, and I would not want anyone to, come back and complain about losing money and not being able to get this money. So that is virtually it for tonight. Thank you guys for sticking around. It is 1 hour mark right now, and I say thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. If you were here, if you are just coming in now, you can go back and watch the whole thing. It was loaded, it was packed. We dealt with everything you can see on your screen right now. And as you can see, guys, I am having a new setting. Yes, this is like my new studio now. You see that, right? Yes, my new studio is something very new. And you can see that the stream is more organized as at the last time. So I am putting in a lot of work to make sure that I can give you guys the best, on this platform. So the next thing you can do for me is to subscribe, to share the broadcast, share the videos, like the videos. When you watch, if you like it, just you can drop a comment, just for the YouTube algorithm to promote the video. Just drop a comment, even if it's an emoji, anything on any of the videos, okay? And okay, someone just asked a question. Aminu, please, it takes how many miles to get the process? I don't understand what you mean by miles. Miles? Please resend that, okay, so that I can jump on it before I leave the live stream. Okay, he has redacted it, so resend it, okay? And I will answer it. Yes, that is why I'm here, to answer your questions also. So guys, as I said, I'm doing lots of work. You can see that we're working to see that but something is coming. Yes, there is an episode that is coming, and we are going to have polls on like the Polish people, Polish guys with me on the show. At a certain stage, it's going to be amazing. We're going to be discussing the Polish culture. We're going to be looking at so many things, within the different episodes. We're going to be looking at the African culture. We're going to be looking at just lots of amazing things. So you guys should get ready. You guys should get ready. Yes, you guys should get ready. Get yourself ready for what is coming. It's going to be mind blowing. Believe me. And I'm going to do my best. I'm going to be promoting it on the channel, so I'm going to do my best to give you guys the best as I can. Okay. And from time to time, I'm going to be coming online, and I'm going to be, taking questions from people who are willing to pose questions to me. Please, it takes how many months to get Poland visa? Okay, in truth, it takes about 3 months, maximum of 3 months. Yes, some can be between 2 months, and others can be between maximum of 3 months. Yes, maximum of 3 months. That is what it takes to get the Polish work visa. Oh, sorry. Did I misunderstand the question? It takes how many months to get Poland visa? If you said Poland visa, I don't understand what you mean by Poland visa. Poland visa can be either Poland visa can be either for work or for school. Depending on when you apply, it should take 30 working days for them to process everything and then, give you. But right now, we know that at the embassy, things are very difficult. We know that things are very difficult at the embassy right now, and it is hard to get dates for people. That is point of pressure for so many people to get dates for anything. It is seriously difficult. So in that case, what can you do? So you just have to wait, and then if it is for work visa from Poland, here is 3 months. If it is for just applying from Nigeria or for wherever you are, it is maximum of 30 days to sometimes they can be like, come back later. They did it to me when I came back for an appeal, at the embassy. They did that to me. They told me, like someone was like, oh, I know that they have given you the visa, when they started delaying. So it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. So thank you all for staying tuned. Thank you for staying tuned. This is my new studio. This is the new and everything, what we are doing. Believe me, more amazing things are yet to come. And I'm going to be dishing out insightful informations for you guys from time to time. You know, yes, the next video that is going to be coming up is going to be about you not playing all your cards at the embassy. Okay, you not playing all your cards at the embassy when you go for submission. Okay, sometimes you can go for submission and you play all your cards. So the next video that is going to be coming up is going to be the cards you should not play and the cards that you likely would play. Okay, so that is it for this night. Thank you guys so much. I need to also go and have my rest. I'm working tomorrow. That is live in Europe. I'm working tomorrow, so I need to have my rest. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you all, everyone who dropped the comment. I love you all so much, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye bye, and have a good night.